Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first fully audio podcast on purpose.
Yeah.
Episode 2 was all audio because our camera fucked up, but this time it's on purpose.
Yeah, so, no, this is totally on purpose. Just to kind of fill you in, I don't know if we'll put anything on the previous episode or not. We've been crazy busy, and I mean, our workout update video, whenever that goes up, kind of talks about it a little bit too. But yeah, so we just decided, you know, we're going through a lot personally in terms of like jobs and our personal lives, and then also we're like trying to transition, like, and I'm trying to build like a semi studio at like my house, and
editing for my other YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, so
I mean,
it's tough, and we just decided it'd be much easier if we just went full audio and had nothing to worry about.
Right. Well, I mean, our other content on the YouTube channel, Nerdify, will still have video, obviously, but those will be much smaller videos, less editing to do.
So it takes a long fucking time to go through an hour of video.
Right.
So, you know,
fix all our little stupid mistakes
and put inserts in there. So we just decided that the hour-long stuff we'll still have up on YouTube, just as like we'll put them in their own playlist, and they'll just be audio. So if you have YouTube Red, of course, you can download them if you want. But of course, we're gonna probably be putting our stuff for now, just because it's free on like Podomatic, and have an RSS feed going to iTunes. And then
we're going to try to go as many places as possible. We want to reach the broadest audience, of course. So like Stitcher, Spotify has podcast, Google Music.
Yeah, the Play Music and all that. So we're going to have it in multiple places. So even if you don't want to download a video every time, you can just go to one of those places. I'm sure find it somewhere. So we'll try to make it as easy as possible for you guys.
Right.
So, I guess we'll start with the sodas. We can't really show you any pictures of it. I mean, we don't really know what we're doing in terms of this, the Podomatic stuff and the broadcasting. I mean, we'll provide the names in the show notes. And so, you know, you can at least look them up on the internet. I mean, you're already on the internet anyway, right? So,
I mean, there's like that podcast is like just for, it's not just for like beer and alcohol tasting. It's like a huge podcast too, and they do the same thing, just to describe the flavor and the way it looks. So I mean, it should work about the same way here.
So this week we have at least I have. It's called Balls, spelled BAWLS. It's Balls Guarana Original. It's an energy drink, and I'm not exactly sure what all is in it, but it has something different than regular energy drinks. Like that, I don't know. Anyway, but I've had it before in the past a long time. I mean, it's probably been like 15 years since I've had this, so I really don't remember what it tastes like, so it'll kind of be a new experience.
I think I had it back in 2009-ish. Yeah. It was when I went to Akon.
From what I remember, it's good. But
it was interesting. I don't know what it tastes like now, so I mean, we're going to be swapping off and tasting each other's there just to see what it tastes. You know.
What do you got, James?
I have Dos Amigoses. Amigoses. What's plural of amigos? Just amigos? Dos amigos?
Because amigo is a singular, and then amigos.
What about possessive? Is it dos amigos, right?
Dos amigos, that's two friends.
It's their soda, though. So, I mean, anyway, it didn't matter. It's Rosa's arroz con leche. Sweet rice soda.
Oh, let me see that.
I don't speak Spanish, so I'm not even going to try to butcher that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't really say, like, Dos Amigos is...
Right, it's just the makers of the soda. I was just trying to...
Dos Amigos, they're Rosas Arroz con Leche.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a rice milk type soda, so we'll see how that is. But let's go ahead and get into these things, you know?
Yeah, and get all up in... Okay.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Ooh.
That's really good. So I have a problem with a lot of energy drinks where they're really harsh kind of, and they feel kind of chemically in your mouth.
Yeah.
Like Monster, to me, is the least abrasive. Like Red Bull's okay, but anything else I feel like... I know you like NOS a lot, but really all of them are super abrasive. But this is super smooth. Like...
Mine has sort of like a gingerbread taste to it.
Yeah,
like
I can't really... I mean, this tastes like something else I've had before, but I can't really describe it.
I like mine.
Yeah, it's good.
I feel like any for some reason I feel like any soda that isn't like specifically like Sprite, Coke, like name brand stuff, it always goes off like a cream soda.
Yeah,
I feel because I've said that over like almost every single one of these except for last week's Dr. Enough, which is just Sprite basically.
Yeah,
like they all seem to be like it was good. Yeah. But I feel like all of them are just based off cream soda, which I don't like. So, well, that's actually not bad.
Yeah, let me try yours real quick.
Oh, balls.
Oh. That's a little weird.
That's not bad.
But it's not bad. Like, it's not something I wouldn't be like, let me get a 6-pack of this.
It's kind of a citrusy flavor on the balls. It's not as bad
as the stuff we've been doing.
No, we've had definitely worse. I like the super light citrusy flavor. I was like, clink. Yeah, that's what you're going to do. Like, all right, I mean, cool.
All the little sound effects now matter, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Because when I opened it, I don't know if it'll catch it on the podcast, but when I opened it and I took that first drink, it did that typical, like, bloop, 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 and I really hope it caught that. That would have been really cool. But yeah, no, this is good, right? It tastes like similar to something else, and I don't know what it is. It's kind of a little Spritey, but...
Yeah, definitely.
There's something else I've had that's very similar.
I feel like instead of lemon lime, it's like lemon orange
or something.
I don't know. It's like it's really a lighter citrus flavor.
So if you want like an energy drink, but you don't want something that's like acid going down your throat, go for balls. It's good.
Always go for the balls.
Yes.
I feel like I would appreciate mine a little more if I'd actually had sweet rice before, like it was something I ate all the time. But to me, it just tastes like a gingerbread cookie, which isn't bad. I like gingerbread cookies.
Yeah, it's not bad. So let's go ahead and rate these motherfuckers. So we got balls. Balls guarana. Oh,
this is gonna be a good show.
Oh yeah, you know it. Guarana. Okay. Guarana. Okay, I spelled that right, but also wrong.
You just put balls. However many other sodas
balls. How about
balls,
that? Fuck all that. Even though it's right in front of me, I'm an idiot. Okay, whatever. Okay. So I really do like this. I remember liking it a lot. For me, it's easily a 6-pack commit. Well, I don't know, maybe a top tier soda.
Really?
Like,
yeah, I mean, I can see
because
that.
if you had to say, okay, pick one of every type of soda, this would definitely be the best energy drink soda out there because, like I said, it's so smooth. So, you know what?
You know, that's actually, now that you mention it, that is a lot better than what I remember it being. I don't have a really, avid memory of what it tasted like. But that's actually better than I thought it was going to be from my super vague memory.
Yeah. Just so you know, I'm sure you'll be able to look it online. The bottle's kind of phallic.
It's even ribbed for your pleasure.
Yeah, it's like dotted all over. But it's a nice, cool, deep blue, like a royal blue. I like it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's an appealing bottle.
I'm going to give that a 9.
You give it a 9?
I'm going to give that a 9.
Holy shit.
For me, that is a top tier.
Are you sure that's not just the excitement over the new setup here that's really getting you excited?
Just so you guys know, I've gotten really giddy over it, like, because we've done testing. Like, 1, we have 2 mics, so I'm sure you're able to hear the audio difference. But 2, now it feels like more like a little radio show because we're not concentrating on video and everything. But we did a little bit of a test last night and listened back to it, and I feel so good about it.
It was such a struggle to get Audacity to recognize 2 USB mics. When we finally did it, it was so worth it.
If you have that problem, Voice Meter.
Download Voice Meter, have your mics go into that as 2 separate channels, and then have Audacity pick up Voice Meter instead of 2 different mics, and it's gorgeous.
It works beautifully.
Oh my god!
Apparently, if you leave them open for a long time, not doing anything, Audacity kind of refuses to listen to one mic, but just close them overnight, and open them back up, and they're good. But anyway, yeah. So no, I'm totally going to give that a 9. That is totally a top tier soda for me because it is probably the best energy soda I've ever had.
Let me see well, you go ahead and write it down. Balls. Let me go ahead and rate it for me. Let me see the thing here. Honestly, it's a less, what's the right word? It's a less abrasive sort of in your face sort of energy drink. Like a lot of them are like super like in your face, punching you in the back of the throat, like with the flavor.
They're just like, you want energy? Here's energy.
It's nice and smooth. I like that. So, I still think I would choose NOS over this because it's. I like the flavor of NOS more.
No, that's cool.
So I'm gonna go. I go with drink regularly. What number is that?
Drink regularly? A 7?
A 7?
8 is a 6-pack commit. So you'd totally be willing to pick up a 6-pack.
Give it a 7. I'll give it, because I would drink this regularly if I just haven't found a place that's readily available now. But now we got the place right on the street.
Yeah, that's true. 7 if you're a loser. But okay, so next would be the Rosas Arroz con leche.
I'm not sure if it's like a. I feel like it was a graphical choice, but like the label looks like it's been left out in the sun.
Yeah, it looks like it's like about like from the 90s.
I feel like it was a choice they made. Yeah, done on purpose.
So, okay, for me,
you can try it again.
Yeah, I can give it another little sip. Yeah, it's very gingerbready. Like, okay, so for me, I'm gonna give it a 5. I would drink it again, but I'm not gonna say it's enjoyable. I'm not gonna say I would drink it regularly, but it's not bad. Like, it's not a 4, but so it's a 5 for me. So it's a 5. I would drink it again if someone's like, "Hey, you want soda?" All I have is dick juice and this arroz con leche, and I'd be like, "I'll take the arroz con leche." So
is that really a soda? Dick juice?
It might be. Hey, we may find it and we may drink it for you guys.
Well. So if you know where to get dick juice soda.
Yeah, and please don't just say come in a bottle, because that would not be cool. All right, James, what are you going to give it?
Oh, let me see the list one more time. I just need to... Oh, man. I just... The fact that I feel like it's based on a...
A food?
No, not a food. How I said all these were cream soda. Because I'm getting used to the cream soda flavor. It's growing on me, but it's still.
Honestly, out of all the soda types, cream soda does take a little bit getting used to. But you found the right ones, and you can. It opens up a whole new world for you.
I'm gonna go 4 on that one. It's not bad. Like, I could see drinking this with like a dessert that's like not like overly sweet. Like, I feel like it would complement that. Right. I feel like I could see picking that up to go with something like that. I don't normally pair any sort of particular drink with a dessert, but if I had to, it'd be this one.
Yeah. So right now, my highest is Balls at a 9. Second highest would be Dr. Enough at an 8. Your highest has been Dr. Enough at a 7. And the next highest is Balls at a 7. So again, we both kind of have that way up there. And of course, our worst is PB&J, because fuck that shit.
God. I had such high hopes for that one, too.
So
and,
bad.
Oh my God, that was bad.
All right. Now to get on to the real stuff.
Yeah.
So,
the meat.
Eating a lot of meat with this workout. If you want to know about that stuff, you can go check out our YouTube channel or get to check out the other videos.
Doing the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. workout from Superhuman Jacked. Is that what it's called again?
Yeah, superhumanjack.com. Yeah. It's a nice little blog website. He has like multiple different workout types of, or not even just superhero related ones, but just like celebrity related ones.
Like, we've been doing it a week, and like, even though I don't see any change like physically, like mentally, I feel, I feel physically better having worked out, but like I don't see any physical change yet. But that's okay, because like it really helped my psyche.
You feel like mentally better just about yourself. You feel like you're really making a
because right after the workout,
change.
I feel like super energized. Like, yeah, I can do this. Of course, I crashed soon after because I'm so freaking tired.
Oh yeah,
but,
yeah.
Yeah,
but no, I agree. Like, after I get done, like, I'm always like, of course, the first workout's always tough. By the end of the Thursday, Friday workout that I got to, by the end of the workout, I was just like, I want to do a little bit more. You know, I always like feel like I could go more, I could do more, and I mean, it's good that they let you know how much you really want to push yourself. Mm-hmm. And so I'm kind of looking forward.
After my first, I worked out here in this room. There's no AC. Well, I had AC on, but it didn't do much. And by the end, I was just like, I'd never been pouring sweat so much and like huffing and puffing. It was when we were going to do our own individual like update video, like how we felt after the workout. So I was like, so then my first workout, and this is how I feel. I'm dead. It was I think that's the point when I was like, we shouldn't do the individual workouts because that was horrible.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, that was a pretty bad time, but I felt pretty good afterwards. Like, once I calmed down and had my protein shake and got to rest a little bit, and I ate before, and I also felt like shit because I ate like right before because I was crunching on time.
Oh yeah,
in the 6 hour window. So I felt like shit the whole night, but I felt good because I worked out. So
yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a good workout. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the change. You know, that's like the goal. And it's also nice to be accountable. Not only are we accountable with each other, but we're also kind of like accountable with our audience. I mean, we don't really have one right now, but you know, it's nice to be able to go like, well, maybe one day people will look back at this and to know that like we did at least try. You know,
because we talk to each other every day about what's going on. Like, okay, I feel like this day. Dude, I ate this much and I almost couldn't finish because I'm so freaking full.
Oh yeah,
and the workout was tough tonight. We just, you know, how many reps are you doing? That kind of thing. How you holding up? Just every day. So it's kind of nice to have that communication. So
and then your wife is doing her diet too, and it's nice to like be updating with her and see like, oh, how's your stuff going? How's your stuff going? And, you know, it's kind of funny. So she's doing a mono diet, which is you choose like one food type, like let's say just a potato or just a chicken, and that's all you can eat for 2 weeks. Yep. And it's supposed to you have no meal times. And no meal times
whenever you need food.
But it curbs your appetite, so you actually get hungry way less often, and it's good for you. And it kind of resets your palate a little bit. But it's kind of a perfect balance between what we're doing and then what she's doing, because she looks at us and she's like, fuck you guys, you can eat whatever you want, technically. And then we look at her and go, well, fuck you, because you can eat whenever you want. You know, we only got a 6 hour window.
6 hour window. We have to cram all our calories and all our food into, and the rest of the time we're just looking at her eating, just like, the chicken looks so good.
Yeah, last night, you know, she was coming home and she texted James and she was like, hey, can you make me these chicken breasts and put some little like Worcestershire sauce on it? And we were like, okay. And we had to sit there cooking chicken for her, smelling it, and then she ate it in front of us.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was brutal. I mean, we even like licked a little bit of the sauce and just like, just taste a little bit of it.
It's so good. Oh my god.
But
it's a weird balance.
Yeah, but it's I think it's been a lot of fun, and really I'm just like super proud of us in general, because I mean, for the general American public, it's so hard to go from a, you know, lazy, lackadaisical kind of lifestyle to one where you're really pushing to be healthier.
I didn't realize how lazy I was until I started doing this exercise every day.
Yeah. The thing I'm excited for, you know, people say that after a few weeks of working out and everything, like, you just feel more energized, you feel more alert all the time. So I'm excited for that, because I'm not a morning person, and I hope that really affects my mornings, because I would like to just be able to wake up and just be like, hello, good day, how are you? But today I'm just like, don't fucking talk to me. I mean, I'm for real. Like, if I get up and like my roommate tries to talk to me, I'm just like, like, I don't want to open my mouth. And
that's how I was at work. I told you earlier, the first few days of me waiting to eat, like, I had to wait past my normal lunchtime when I normally get hungry. So those first couple of days, I was writing tickets for. I'm a parking officer at a local university, and so I was writing tickets left and right for stuff I would normally just let, you know, roll by. Just like, they're fine for now, but now I was like, fucking get a ticket and you get a ticket. And just, oh man, my book was full.
You winked at me wrong, fucking ticket.
Exactly. I felt kind of bad, but I mean, they did deserve the tickets, but I was just like, I normally would have just let that go, but not today.
So yeah, I'm excited about all of it. I'm just excited to not have this fucking gut anymore. Oh my God. I know what you people are probably thinking is just like, yeah, but you're drinking fucking sodas on the show every week. But we only do this once a week, and it's literally the only soda I drink all week.
Yeah. I'm actually off of sodas except for
whenever
the
we do
one
the show.
Here. Yeah,
and it's kind of good. And, you know, it was something that we kind of discussed a little bit yesterday is we're eating very low sugary stuff. Like the sweetest things that I'm eating are like the protein bars with the dark chocolate and everything. But even then, they have like low, like a gram or maybe even 5 grams of sugar. But everything is really low sugar. And so, excuse me. We were eating stuff that normally before the diet would have been like, oh, this is nothing. This is kind of sweet. But, you know, like, I had a Lipton green tea, and I used to drink those all the time, and I thought they were just, like, you know, I was like, oh, Hawaiian Punch is where it's, like, super sweet. But, man, I had that stuff, and it tasted like pure sugar. Like, I thought it was just another Hawaiian Punch. I can't even imagine trying to drink Hawaiian Punch now. And that's what's nice. It really lets you realize, like, how much sugar is in stuff that even is supposedly healthy for you. You know, they push green tea as being healthy for you, and it is. Yeah. It has a lot of good benefits. But, honestly, like, pre-bottled stuff, I mean, they sweeten the hell out of it.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It's always like, I always hear like crazy things like people not from America, they try like American bread and they're like, oh, this is like a dessert, it's so sweet. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's white bread. But now I can kind of see it, like with talking about the Hawaiian Punch thing. I really can't imagine drinking Hawaiian Punch right now. I
mean, even this like soda that I'm drinking right now, I'm sure yours is high in, sugar content, and this is 29 grams of sugar.
Let's see mine.
And
sugar. Where are you? Sugar, 42 grams.
Jesus. But yeah, so like, before I used to think that sodas were just like, all right, they weren't ultra sweet. I had to find a really, really sweet soda to not like it. But even with this, like, this is a top tier soda for me. But even then, I'm just like, this is very sweet. Like, before I could probably drink 2-3 sodas in a row if I really wanted to. But now, that's just like one and I'm done.
You know what I've noticed, actually? Most of the sodas I've tried are exactly 180 calories always. I don't know why. This is only 170.
It's nice.
It's diet soda.
Diet arroz con leche. But yeah, so working out, getting healthy. But more about, I guess, the nerdy stuff. I mean, this is kind of us personally, but so
what on about this week, Reggie? What's going on? What's going on with
I've been playing a little bit of that Insane trilogy, Crash Bandicoot.
Oh hell yeah, we got that too, actually.
Yeah, no, I see it on your shelf right now. Yeah. So I actually never grew up with like a PS1 or a PS2, but my cousins in Texas, I used to go visit them a lot every summer. And they had it, and I mean, we would play the shit out of Crash Bandicoot. I mean, we sucked at it, and we probably didn't get very far. I mean, I think we only ever got as far, at least in the first one, as like Ripperoo, and maybe a couple levels past that, and that was it. But we were like 8, 9, 10 years old.
Right, yeah.
And, but yeah, I always had like a fond spot, and the music is great for this game. Oh, yeah. And so whenever I heard this coming out, I grabbed it immediately. But I know up until I played it again, I forgot just how hard it was. And oh my God, you would have think that this was like a modern day game that they like, we're going to make it really, really hard. But no, I mean, it makes sense that older games like that were that hard because there are only going to be so many levels, especially on something as old as the PS1. And there's only so many level variations they can make, and they kind of have to make it soul-crushingly hard if you want to actually enjoy the game, because it wouldn't be very much fun if you could beat the game in like 3 days and then that was it. I mean, it's good that they also have different things like, being able to 100% the game by getting all the different, like, the little hex things and the gems and all that, doing the time trials.
You're basically forced to play through the game multiple times, just 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have that little touch to it. I'm just focused on beating every game in order. But yeah, it can be brutal. I mean, there are times whenever I just sit down on my couch after a long day, and I'll spend an hour and a half on like one level. They're brutal, but I love it. I mean, it's still really good. I heard a lot of people talking about like the controls not being that good, and I didn't understand that. They're just like, the controls are a little lacking, but it's just like, they didn't really update it. It's just supposed to feel like a classic PS1 game.
Right,
so, they even say in the little things like, hey, if you want to feel more old school, just use the D-pad. And I use that a lot, especially like whenever there's like fun motor moments where you have to like do precise jumps and everything. I just use those because it's much easier to control.
Yeah, honestly, the older controls, that's a big part of that remake.
Yeah.
Because even if the controls were not like ideal, they messed up the controls some way on the older games. That's how people grew up playing. They got used to it, and that's how that game is meant to be played. So if you like updated it, that would totally screw up for people who haven't played it before, and people who haven't, I mean, they would just get used to it just like you did before.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, it's definitely a good remake, and I mean, sales have been killing it. I mean,
see, I'm like you. I didn't grow up with a PlayStation. I got one later. I was always a Nintendo kid.
Oh yeah,
but even then, I didn't. I was still aware of things like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, all the stuff solely for PlayStation, and it looked cool, but I just never had access to it.
Right.
Morgan, on the other hand, did. She grew up with Crash and Spyro, so like she was super excited. Like I thought it was cool they were remaking it. I was excited just because it was something I recognized as a child, but I didn't have that connection, that nostalgic connection like Morgan did. So she freaked out when they announced it. And so I actually went through a friend who had like Best Buy certificates that were going to expire and she wasn't going to use, so I begged her to. It was basically almost the game free.
Yeah.
Basically, so we were broke, so I was like, can I just use these? And she's like, I'm not going to use them. They're going to expire in 2 days. So I'm like, yeah, I'll use them. So I went there and we grabbed it, and she's loved it so far. She's been playing it a little bit, not as much as I would like, because I like watching her play the old games. Mm-hmm. I watched her 100% Spyro on the PS1, and that was really cool, because I felt like I got to relive, like, because I feel like when I was a kid, I would have watched someone play Spyro.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just had that feeling. So getting to do that now, I really felt like really made me a kid again for some reason.
Yeah, and also I think it's more fun to watch people play like classic platformers.
Yeah,
you know, because it's hard. They can be difficult for everybody. You know, like more modern games is just like that's kind of like why I don't really watch Let's Plays that often, because sometimes the people that do Let's Plays and just such incompetent gamers that you're just like. Yeah, you're welcome. No, and I get, like, it may just be that for certain games you can approach it differently, and that's fine, but there are some games that are very linear, that are just, like, story-based, and they're just like, I can't find this, I don't know what to do, and to me, it's just super obvious, just like, this is, like, it just, you go here, you go, you know, and so I would get frustrated and then stop playing, but classic platforms are always fun because it's just like, this is just going to have it has one set difficulty level, you know, there's no easy mode for Spyro or Crash.
You either played it how it is or that's it, you played something different.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way a lot of like Nintendo games are too, you know. But yeah, so I'm really loving this game, and I'm excited. There's a possibility, you know, they said if sales keep doing good, which they are still killing it, that they could be looking into making more Crash games, and that, like, new Crash games. And
like
that,
brand new?
Oh, yeah, like brand new, just entries into the franchise, and that is way cool for me. Mm-hmm. I mean,
that's definitely how they should do that.
Yeah,
because, like,
I just hope that they don't, like, be like, okay, we're gonna do it, and, like, push it in a totally, like, hard different direction. Not like they're gonna change it to like an RTS or some shit, but just that they, you know, like whenever they tried to redo Spyro, and they gave him that new design and everything, and like the gameplay just felt like, so it's a fine balance. But if they just basically make it feel like it's just like in the same vein as those, like, yeah, I would totally play the hell out of those, you know. And then there's also the possibility now they're like, hey, if this remake does good, like, you could be looking at an HD remake of Spyro, and like,
that would be
like,
awesome.
I'm not super into Spyro. I watched her wife play a little bit of it, and I loved watching her play. And I know she's that gets announced as HD trilogy remake. She will freak the fuck out.
We will pre-order that one. I mean, we won't wait till it comes. It'll be there day one.
Oh yeah, it's so nice to like just be able to have some of those games be remade, you know, and I guess just to kind of maybe touch on like bad remakes. Like
what do you got?
I'm trying to think. There was what was it? There was like like GoldenEye. Whenever they remade that for the Xbox.
Oh my god, it was the Wii, wasn't it?
I think they might have made it for the Wii too. I don't know, but I know it was at least on the Xbox 360.
Wii U. Yeah,
but it was GoldenEye Reloaded, and it was like garbage. Yep. It was just straight up like a Call of Duty ripoff. It wasn't even anything close to actual GoldenEye.
See, I don't know. Maybe it's just the okay, so GoldenEye. I remember the controls on that being like extra hard. It was unique just to N64. Like, it was typed. It was like, it was. I mean,
the controls were kind of bad because it was a team that had never made a game before. You know?
Right, and also like you didn't have like the dual joystick for looking. You had like the C buttons to look up and down, and it was just
it was a little strange.
It was weird. Like, I tried to play it a few years ago again, and I was like, how did I ever play this game? I remember playing it a lot, like, you know, having friends over and playing the split screen and whatnot. But still, I still think the controls are a big part of. Well, if you're going to do a remake, you have to keep the controls equally as difficult. So, I mean, they changed the gameplay. They made the controls, you know, made more sense. So I feel like that's all things that sort of like threw off people that wanted to relive the GoldenEye era, you know.
Yeah,
trying to improve too many things.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember some other like remakes. I'm trying to look at some stuff, see if I can remember anything. But I mean, maybe to touch on a good remake, like maybe remake or HD update, however you want to look at it, but a remaster. But like whenever they updated Resident Evil 4, you know, for I think for the Wii and everything, and then updated the graphics and everything. Like, it was great because they didn't really touch anything. They just basically like upgraded, maybe a few like quirky controls or something,
made it prettier.
But yeah, that worked. But
that's
the
all
game,
you have to do.
Yeah, the game itself, I mean, was already like a classic.
You just take a game that has the really good core gameplay and people loved, and just make the graphics prettier, bring it into today's age, and don't really mess with anything. Don't try to fix what's not broken, basically. Yeah. That's where because you start messing with nostalgia. You start changing the way people remember things.
Yeah, I just saw one that definitely hits.
Oh, I see it on your phone.
Yeah, I forget about this one because I try to forget about this one, which is the 2006 Sonic like reboot.
Oh my god.
Oh my good lord. I mean, not only was the game like fucked up and buggy as hell, but just like him and this princess having a like, oh why? So weird. And then like I don't know, the game was just not. It was like, if you want like a masterclass on how to fuck things up, that game is like prime example.
Buggy as shit.
And if I remember correctly, I played a little bit of it, and it was frustrating, of course, because the controls were kind of bad too. But also, like the level design wasn't very good, and I felt like they focused less on the speed and more on the platforming, which is like not Sonic at all. Like that's like taking Mario and just making him run across courses, and you're just like, where's the fun platforming part and the inventiveness? It's just gone.
See, they need to remake Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I played that game.
Yeah.
Like I never 100% it because I'm not that good, but if I still had a GameCube, I would still be playing that game because you had everything. You had replayability because you wanted to get faster times. You wanted to see those A's across the board and all like the time trials. And then on top of that, they had the Chow Garden, which I sunk so much time into. I hadn't sunk so much time into that since Tamagotchi, you know?
Oh yeah.
So like it was really in depth, and that's another replayability for the actual game because you had to go back to the levels to get certain little animals to bring back, and it's just so in-depth. And not only do you have just raising the chows, you had their own little contest you raise them and put them into. It's a whole separate game inside of a separate game.
Yeah, I mean, that game did like that mini-game type stuff within games like really well. One that I just remembered as well was the Bomberman remake.
I didn't play that one,
Bomberman
actually.
Act Zero, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
Oh, my
That was on the Wii U?
I thought it was like the Xbox.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know when it got remade. Anyway,
I didn't play it.
It was like they just said,
never a Bomberman
let's
fan.
take... I love Bomberman. I grew up with it on Super Nintendo. And they were just like, hey, let's take this cute little like chibi type franchise where it's just like fun little like quirky like Bomberman, and they decided like let's make it real and gritty and dark and then it goes
the cover of that.
Yeah, I mean it goes from being just like this nonsensical thing about the guy laying down bombs to try to do whatever to like it's a post-apocalyptic scenario where you're this player in a game and you have to fight your way to the top in order to get your freedom or that may be completely wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was it. I mean, it was.
The cover made it look like it should be that.
It was garbage. It was absolutely terrible.
You know what my problem is with Bomberman?
What?
I didn't play it when I was 10, so I played it as an adult with people who did play it as 10.
Yeah.
So they were like on a whole nother level than me. So I was playing as a 10-year-old trying to figure things out, and they were like laying bombs and super like secret combos, and I was just like, I don't get it. I'm losing. I don't understand this.
Oh yeah, that game could be a lot of fun. Like it especially like multiplayer.
I think I get the appeal. I just the combos wouldn't click in my brain because I'm still learning the controls. And I was just playing with people who have played it as a kid like for hours, and just it was kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I mean it definitely has a lot of fun quirks to the multiplayer and everything, but yeah, it seemed like they haven't been able to get it right. I mean, I know they just made one for the Wii or the Switch, but I've heard mixed things about it. Like, it's all right, it's much better than X-Zero, but it still lacks a little bit of something.
Right.
So, I think video game manufacturers kind of have to be careful with how they touch specific franchises and everything, because people are going to have very fond memories of these, and they may think they're doing everybody a service by, bringing these back into the new world. But you can also just kind of feel like also they're just like cash grabs,
Yeah.
Like, oh, people are nostalgic about this, let's just get it. I mean, with Crash, I knew I had faith in it that it was going to be good simply because of the fact that, you knew it just wasn't a cash grab, because they didn't have the original source code for this game. They were gonna let's do that, and they went digging and found out we don't have this anymore. And if they just wanted to be a cash grab, they could have stopped right then and there and just never mind. But instead, what do? They were like, you know what? No, we're just going to completely remake this game from scratch. And, I mean, it paid off. It's great,
I feel like the work they put into it, plus people were already, had been begging for it for years. Like, they've been wondering, where is it? We want to see this now.
Right.
I felt like it was... it was the right time, basically, for that.
Right.
They chose their time correctly, so where it didn't seem like they were doing it just because, we're running out of money, we needed something to, help our stocks or whatever, So it's just something that they did because it was asked for, not because they needed to do it,
Yeah. I don't know if you can count this as like a remake, or if it just was delayed forever that it felt like one, but Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's not really a remake or a remaster or anything, but it was definitely trying to bring a very classic game into the new. But I think the problem that plagued that was it started production way back for I think the game, the GameCube era, PS2 and all that, and Xbox, and then it just kept getting delayed, and it just got to a point where when it was finally released that it had so many legacy issues that it just felt like an old, outdated game already, even though it was brand new. And I'm still trying to think.
Here's a good one. Actually, I don't know if it's a good one or not because I didn't actually play the original, but Lunar Silver Star Story on the PS1 was a remake of I believe a Genesis Sega CD game.
Uh-huh.
And I played Lunar Silver Star Story on the PS1. That was one of the most nostalgic games. It wasn't even me playing it. It was one of my friends in elementary school. I'd go to his house and I watched him play that from beginning to end. I would sleep over his house all the time, and that's what we do. We stay up all night, and he would just play Lunar. And so, I have it now, and I want to beat it myself.
Yeah.
But that is one of the few RPGs, JRPGs, that I absolutely love, from head to toe.
Yeah.
So I can only assume that it was better than the original. I think I've actually read things that it was just they fixed audio in it and that kind of stuff.
I never heard anyone play the original one, but I had friends who played the I guess remake on the PS1. You said, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, they seem to like it a lot. I guess they just basically remade it for a new console, which I think is what you should do. You shouldn't always add new gimmicks and things unless it really makes sense. We had technical limitations with this console, but now with this new one, we can do really what we wanted to, as long as it doesn't change the major scope of the game or just add stuff that feels unnecessary. There are a bunch of remasters and stuff that are just classic games, and they just kind of didn't mess with it all. And it's like DuckTales, they basically just kind of updated it and made it look a little bit better, but
it looked good too.
Yeah. Ooh, one that I remember now that I'm super excited for is the Shadow of the Colossus HD update.
Oh my god.
Yes, I am super duper excited for that shit because I love the original to hell, and
Even the PS2 is like riding around in an oil painting. It's just so gorgeous. Even though the colors were kind of washed out, it was just done just right to put you in the correct mood for that game. Just dark, gritty, and just beautiful.
Oh yeah, the ability to like be able to, play that all in HD. Oh,
I feel like that's really beautiful. The only move that company could have done after the failure of Last Guardian.
Yeah, and see, that was another one that was like kind of a update type deal, and it had legacy issues because it just kind of felt a little old and outdated. But
because it's supposed to be for PS3, and then
it was supposed to be for PS2. I
don't
remember. Maybe it was at the ass end of PS2, and it was supposed to start at the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like it was slated for PS3, and then it got put on hiatus, and then we really thought it was canceled.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, boom, there it is, E3. We're working on it still, and that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I don't know. Like I keep saying, video game companies have to be very careful with how they approach things because, I really think in a lot of situations they should kind of stop and listen to the community and say, hey, what did y'all like about this? What didn't you like about this? Would you be okay with this? Maybe not give away all their little secrets, but kind of just get a gauge of just like, how would this go,
Yeah, let the community influence at least a little bit, because, that's who you're making it for. It's who you hope buys millions of copies.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people are just like, well, it's the nostalgia crowd, but honestly, if you make something good enough and it really, is modern and appeals to, not only the nostalgia game, but, new gamers as well, like Crash, that's why it's still doing so strong. If it was just the nostalgia buyers, the sales would have spiked and then slumped immediately, but it's still holding on strong, which is nice. I think it's already been almost at a month, another week or so, and it'll be about a month. But yeah, that's really crazy.
Yeah, the whole community driven thing is kind of interesting because it brings up another remake that I really want, or remastering, or just a sequel, for God's sakes, is Mega Man Legends on the PS1.
Oh,
Legends 1, 2, there was going to be a Legends 3 on the 3DS, which was a community-driven decision-making thing. They were asking the community, hey, what designs do you want to see on the Reaver bots? What kind of enemies do you want to see?
Right.
What do you want the main character to look like? They're asking all kinds of things, and it got the community going. I was in there.
Yeah, from what I knew, there was a lot of strong support for it.
Oh, yeah.
And things were going really, really well, and then out of nowhere, they were just, canceled.
It was because the creator of Mega Man left Capcom. Or the creator of and that's the reason.
Right?
Yeah, and then he went to make Mighty Number 9, and
which I backed the Kickstarter because I love Mega Man. Oh, I love Mega Man so much, and I backed it thinking oh yes, finally a new one that'll be great, and I barely even touched it. It's not the best, and it makes me really sad. And so I don't know if he's doing anything else with that studio, but also their handling of the Kickstarter really pissed me off because I paid quite a bit and I was supposed to get a lot of physical stuff, and just about a month ago we finally got an update about where the 3DS version is, and also where our fucking physical rewards are, the one I ordered, I think came with I know it came with a physical retro box and everything, stuff I would love to put on my collector shelf, and I never got it. And so finally now they're just about to start actually doing that shit, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, and this is 3 years after they start this. It's nuts, and they were just oh, it'll only take 6. That's the stuff they should have pushed out first,
Right? Yeah.
But I think everyone kind of has their experience with Kickstarter stuff because the only successful ones I've been a part of were usually bands. Usually. Now, the Classic Crime, I think their past 3 albums have been kickstarted.
Nice.
And they've delivered on every single one. And I will continuously back their Kickstarters every single time, and then another one, the very first one I did was a little band out of Utah called Solar Suit, and they're really good. I like them, and they did a Kickstarter because they're Mormon. They're from Utah, And so before they left on their little 2-year mission trip, they wanted to record an album, and they kickstarted it and recorded it. I mean, everything was on time, and it delivered all the goods. It was great. Now, there's another one. My friend backed. The metal community may know about this one. It's from a band named Corellia.
Not Jupiter.
Don't give away my names. I have things saved aside so that way I can.
Just in case you start your metal band.
Just in case I ever start my progressive music type band. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. If I ever
put that name in your pocket and just.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
No.
All right.
No, it's Jupiter Tessellation.
That's not a name.
Huh?
Oh, wait, I thought you meant the name of the band.
No. Yeah, the one I want to use is Jupiter Tessellation. Nobody can steal it. It's copyrighted 2017 Regie Longoria. I will kill you if you take it. Okay, not really. If the FBI is listening,
you heard it.
it's
Death
not
threats.
true.
Death threats right here.
Yeah. No. So, the band is Corellia that did the Kickstarter, and they had their first album was amazing. It was it's only got like 6 songs on it, and I still listen to it all the time. It is so good. They had so much potential. Whenever it's the gent, I sound like a prick. The gent genre. That Periphery and Meshuggah really like pioneered and made really popular, and there are a bunch of bands that are kind of generic and everything, but like Periphery is really like the monster in that genre. Like they're big dogs, and so Corellia had the opportunity to become that next big dog in that genre, and so they promised this like double album and everything, and they got so much money. And I didn't get to kick back it. Well, I'm glad. My friend did, and he paid like $60 for like a hoodie and like the album and something. It was a bunch of stuff, and nothing ever happened with it. They were doing a lot of updates, and then just slowed down. And the last update we heard was from them was like last year sometime, and it's been like 4 years in the making or something. And and the like last little bit that like metalsucks.com has gotten from them was nothing. Like they asked them, a few months back, they asked them like, hey, what's up? And they're like, no, we're still working on it. They tried again. It had been like a week or two, and they didn't respond. So they're just like, just give up. They're never going to release anything. Even if they do, they'll be shunned by the metal community forever. And I wouldn't be mad if they released an album, because I would love to have at least 24 more songs by them.
Right.
But I would definitely never like go to any of their shows or do anything, because they've fucked themselves. But yeah, so Kickstarter is an iffy place.
I've only ever backed one thing, and it was a space documentary about like not outer space, but like how what NASA's doing and what they kind of, it's a like race for space. I don't know what it's called. I forget what it's called, but it's been in the works for like a long time. Like they finally released it. It's on like I get like a free download from Vimeo, and then they're sending me a physical copy. Yeah. But I still haven't watched it, because that was like 4 years ago that I was interested in that, and it just took too long. But I'm not sad I backed it up.
I did back the I can't remember the name of the game. It was a Tim Schafer game. His studio made. I'm sure somebody will know. I'll try to look it up. But it was pretty. The game was all right. But they kind of were delayed on it, but at least they delivered. That was the main thing. Broken Age, that's what it was. But they did eventually deliver and everything, so yeah. I just saw something, but the Grim Fandango HD update, they did that, and I heard that was good. But I played the original.
I didn't play
Grim
the original,
Fandango, and
but
it's
I know
a
the
great
name.
puzzle clicking game. It's nice. And then, aren't they're doing another like Psychonauts and...
and they're finally doing Beyond Good and Evil. I heard that was amazing.
Yeah,
I didn't play it.
I think they've completely trashed the direction that the original idea for it to go was, because now I think it's set to be like a prequel to the story, which I never played Beyond Good and Evil, but I tried to play like an emulation of it a while back, and I think it's a little dated. I've heard the story and everything was really good, and the game was really good, but I think nowadays just how it works is a little dated, so it's hard for me to get into it. Yeah, so I don't know. We will have to see.
Before we move on, going back to Mega Man Legends, at this point, I would just be happy if they gave the first Mega Man Legends, just a graphical update and re-released it, and they just started from there, and then release 3 later on would be perfectly fine with me. I'd be so stoked.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games that people could update, and I don't know, this is like a kind of a controversial thing, is to be like, well, game companies shouldn't be spending their time doing remasters and updates, they should be making new content and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, like, it's easier just to set a small team aside and do stuff like that, and especially for certain games, it can be nice to, like, basically have them, put out a game that was kind of lacking graphically, but whenever it first came out, and now being able to see it in a new light and everything, and as long as like I always say, as long as they make the controls not feel super outdated, then it could still work. Like I remember playing something that was like an update, and I still don't remember what it is, but the controls, I was just like, these were old school controls. I don't really like it all that much. So, but yeah, I think that's gonna end it for us. Not only do we have about an hour into it, but also we have a child who has just woken up. So.
Yeah, she's screaming right now, so I probably should take care of that, huh?
Yeah, just a little.
She should be fine.
Yeah, so, this is how we're going to be moving forward, guys. It's just going to be an audio thing, which is nice. It's kind of let you just get it from wherever you get your podcast from and be able to really focus on other things until we get the ball rolling otherwise. But, we may eventually move back to video, but for now we're thinking that just going to be audio, and then the podcast or the YouTube channel will focus on different content. So
exactly.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But all right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for another week. This has been Reggie
and James,
and we'll see you next week, guys.
Nerdify.